second the bill. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the bill by Senator Eddie Oketch on the National Construction Authority. Honorable Speaker, unfortunately, when he was moving, I was still attending to the students from the Catholic University, but we're finished. It is a pretty straightforward amendment, Honorable Speaker. As I've said, every time that I speak on a bill, you have to start with the memorandum of objects and reasons to understand what the sponsor of the bill is trying to cure. So, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the memorandum of reasons and objects, it says that the object of this bill is to amend the National Construction Authority Act, Cap 118, to include provisions related to environmentally sustainable construction practices and resilience against climate change within the construction industry. I think, Honorable Speaker, where we begin is that we who have lived in this country, who have lived on this planet thus far, are witnesses that a lot has changed in terms of climate. And Honorable Speaker, I was just looking at some of the data. Speaker, if you look at some of the data that has been put together in just the past 20 or so years, Honorable Speaker, from the year 2000, they say that extreme weather has become more intense, more frequent, and more unpredictable. While scientists argue about what the causes are, there are those who don't believe in climate change. We in Africa, and especially here in Kenya, have a lived reality, Honorable Speaker. Unfortunately, in the entire climate change conversation, Africa gets the short end of the stick because we are the ones who have to bear the brunt of the consequences of actions of the West, and especially when it comes to pollution. So, Honorable Speaker, examples are given that in 1997, at least we used to have extreme weather events, but they were very rare and almost followed a certain pattern, Honorable Speaker. Some of the examples that have been given is the 1997 El Nino flooding. Honorable Speaker, we all remember that phenomenon, and the 2008 to 2010 drought that affected about 10 million Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, in 2020 to 2023, this country experienced the worst drought in the last 40 years. And of course, there was severe flooding. I think in the year 2023, Honorable Speaker, we lost very many lives here in Nairobi in areas such as Mathare after the flooding that we experienced. In the 2024 floods, Honorable Speaker, we had 300 deaths arising from that extreme weather event. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, as Kenyans, this is our lived reality. So if you look at the proposals that Senator Eddie is putting forward, all that this bill seeks to do is to entrench designs that withstand extreme weather conditions. And this you will find in the fourth schedule, where he is proposing, Honorable Speaker, that climate resilient, the designs that have to be approved by the National Construction Authority have to be designs that withstand extreme weather conditions. In fact, here in Nairobi, we have had cases, Honorable Speaker, that after long sustained rains, we have had buildings collapsing because of the weight of the water. And we want to be able to incorporate in the designs that are approved by the Construction Authority those that can withstand extreme weather conditions, and for us, especially flooding, Honorable Speaker. Then you will see that under Part B, the bill proposes that those designs must also have energy efficiency in them, implementation of energy-saving technologies and designs. There is actually a requirement, Honorable Speaker, that solar water heating be installed on all residential houses in Kenya. But it is never, ever followed in the constructions that we see, and we need more enforcement to be able to take care of that. And there's a reason, Honorable Speaker. Electricity continues to be one of the biggest pain points for Kenyans when it comes to cost of living. And of course, the situation has been exacerbated just recently, Honorable Speaker, with the high cost of fuel. As a member of the Energy Committee, I am aware, Honorable Speaker, that the cost of fuel is one of the most, the highest component. When you look at your electricity tariff, the cost of fuel is one of the most, the highest and the most painful for Kenyans. So therefore, there is a need for us to explore energy efficiency in constructions for us to be able to cushion our people. And I don't think that enough has been done, Honorable Speaker, to regulate the quality of even these alternative energy sources, the quality and the cost of these components, because we still have, Senator Eddy, situations where these energy efficient technologies are still subject of taxation in our tax codes, and which makes sure that the cost is very high. Nobody would refuse, Honorable Speaker, the proposition that you can actually have a power plant in your house that frees you from electricity bills. But try buying solar batteries, Honorable Speaker, to power a house like a 3 or 4 bedroom house. You will have to pay through the nose. It is not something that every Kenyan can afford. So we need to do more in order to lower the cost of these energy efficient technologies to ensure that we save Kenyans the pain of the cost of energy. Honorable Speaker, there is also the question of water conservation. I'm just going through that fourth schedule, that we need to adopt water efficient appliances and systems and rainwater harvesting and grey water recycling. Part of the problem we see with flooding, Honorable Speaker, is that many of our buildings do not have rainwater harvesting and grey water recycling systems. So when it rains, Honorable Speaker, there is no way to control and channel this water so that it can be safely evacuated. And I am happy that the bill proposes that we should have an amendment to the building code so that we adopt those water efficient systems. Then, of course, Honorable Speaker, there is a question of sustainability, that we should employ sustainable materials in construction. This cannot be gainsaid, Honorable Speaker, because the planet is grappling with a lot of waste, and we need to find a way to be able to reutilize that. So you can see the bill proposes the use of recycled, renewable and locally sourced materials. And this will also contribute, Honorable Speaker, to a greener Kenya and also to promote local industry. One of the things that I have noticed, Honorable Speaker, if you go to many of the constructions that are happening, a lot of the material that goes into these buildings is shipped, and especially from China. You can imagine, Honorable Speaker, you go to many of these apartments you see coming up in Kilimani and in the other areas, somebody puts up a 20-story building, and all the doors are imported from China. All the windows are imported from China. All the MDF cabinets are imported from China. We are killing local industry by not being able to support our local fundis, our local seremalas who can make doors, who used to make doors, Honorable Speaker. So if this bill passes, we are hoping that we can reverse that trend and give priority to locally sourced materials. Of course, we have to up our game, Senator Eddy, in terms of efficiency of manufacturing, in terms of putting out all this material that is required so that you don't delay construction. You have to address the issues of quality and so on and so forth. We also don't want to put our forests in further peril, and we need to be able to look at all of those things to ensure that we progress without regressing. Then, Honorable Speaker, there is the question of pollution control, measures to reduce air, water and soil pollution during construction, and safe disposal and management of construction waste. I just wanted to touch on one last thing, Honorable Eddy, and through the Speaker, on the question of health and safety. Speaker, you know that Kenya banned asbestos roofing in the year 2006. But as a senator of Nairobi, I know that there are still public institutions, including schools, Honorable Speaker, that continue to have asbestos roofing. So one of the things that we need to agree, although the government told us that there would be a first removal of asbestos, Honorable Speaker, we still have very many institutions that have asbestos roofing, and yet it was known in the 80s, Honorable Speaker, that asbestos has carcinogenic properties and it causes health risks. There have been other things that have been invented, Senator Eddy, some materials that when they catch fire, the fumes that emanate from there actually make it more difficult for you to survive if you are caught in that environment because of the materials that have been used in order to manufacture them. So the health and safety concerns are there, and the bill addresses the use of non-toxic and low-emission materials. Honorable Speaker, in construction. Overall, Honorable Speaker, and I can see my chair of PAC, who's actually an expert on matters of environment and climate change, has just come into the House. I want to allow him to teach the House and to educate us. Yeah? No, he's an expert. He's an expert, and in fact, when it comes to matters of climate change caucuses in this parliament, he's the head of that caucus. So with those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second the bill and congratulate my brother Eddie for this straightforward amendment that is going to cure something that actually is a problem. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.